This is the first piece of unpaved road that I've seen since I'm coming back, and so we're gonna hit this and not leave it for the next several weeks. This is all gonna be unpaved road. As I said when I first started this trail almost 6 months ago, it might not look like much, but this is the beginning of the trip of a lifetime for me. Let's do it. So I've just hit the supermarket in the last piece of civilization that we're going to be in for quite some time. We're about ready to hit the trail now. I'm just going to plot my maps in here, and then we're going to head to the trail, and this is us. We're going to continue south and west through Galicia all the way along the coast and eventually reach our way down to Portugal. I have no idea how long it's going to take. Classically, we're just going to kind of go with the flow and basically see what happens. But yeah, this is us back after 3 months away in Mexico. It feels so good to be back, and I cannot wait to hit the trail, so let's do this. This is the Iberian Trail, a 7,000-mile attempt to circumnavigate the Iberian Peninsula using only unpaved roads and off-road tracks. No highways, no shortcuts, and no easy way out. When I set out to do this, I thought I knew what I was getting into, but the reality is, I didn't. What I expected to be tough turned out to be relentless. Breakdowns, recoveries, storms, dead ends, and long days fighting through places that most people never see. I thought I'd be finished by now. Instead, I'm heading into my 4th month on the road, having had to leave Europe to avoid overstaying my visa, but now I'm back. There have been many moments where I've seriously questioned whether this is even possible, but every time it tries to stop me, I just keep going. This is not a highlight reel, it's the reality of a long-distance off-road expedition that has morphed into a brutal battle to finish what I started. This is the Iberian Trail, 7,000 miles off-road alone, through some of Europe's last untamed places. Just a quick moment of reality before we do indeed hit the trail. I've got the laptop here in the cab of the cruiser, and I'm trying to upload a video for YouTube. But yeah, this is a kind of brutal reality of doing what I do. I've been trying to upload this video for like over 2 days now, and every single time it gets to a point and then fails. So I'm here in the freaking supermarket car park trying to do it, and I don't think it's gonna. But yeah, just a brief moment of reality that it's not all glamorous. I'm freaking sitting in the cab all cramped up and trying and failing to do something. Yeah, there you go. I feel like most of these videos that I'm doing right now are just trying to like get myself accustomed again to talking to the camera, because I've had so long apart from it. It might seem like it's second nature to me watching me on the videos, but you know, it takes a bit of practice to get back into the way of things. So I'm doing that right now. 30, what is that? 31. Alright, so my tyres are at 31 on the back and 25 at the front. So what we'll do is just wait until we hit the trail and then I'll stop and head down. What I am going to do is lock these hubs in. So that's 2 different locking hubs that I've got on there. One factory original icing ones and the other AVM. The reason for that is that I tried to change them both to those red AVM uprated ones, but I ended up losing like 3 or 4 of the screws that hold the locking part of the hub. And it turns out they're super specific, which is kind of annoying actually. This is the trail I have plotted for Galicia. So I'm essentially following this as a framework route. But then when I get to places, I've got loads of different trail options, especially near the coast. So this is my skeleton route, and I'm going to be doing other things, but actually, as it happened, the route actually runs right through this city in the car park of a supermarket. I'm going to go down this road here, I want to rejoin the trail, and then that, from there on, is actually all unpaved road, and then it gets kind of wild as we go here, and then yeah, all the way down the coast. So that's today's route. I am so stoked. Let's do this. Driving through this town is going to be the last piece of on-road driving that I'll be doing for a significant amount of time. As I make my way out to the edge of town, I'm all stocked up and I feel ready to leave the pavement behind and hit the dirt for a good few weeks of off-roading and wild camping. This is the first piece of unpaved road that I've seen since I'm coming back, and so we're gonna hit this and not leave it for the next several weeks. This is all gonna be unpaved road. As I said when I first started this trail almost 6 months ago, it might not look like much, but this is the beginning of the trip of a lifetime for me. Let's do it. This is the very beginning of my second attempt at this expedition, and spirits are high. I'm striking out through Galicia to the most extreme western point of the Iberian Peninsula, after which I'll turn my sights southwards towards Portugal. All of this will be done alone and unsupported in my DIY Land Cruiser camper. The rules of the expedition are simple: only off-road tracks and unpaved roads, except for when I'm diverting into town to buy food or fuel. And by the expedition's very nature, I'll be wild camping almost the entire way. I think this is just about as wild and independent of an adventure that you can have inside of Europe. Off-road and off-grid for months at a time. Iberian Trail Expedition Round 2, let's do this. Unreal, the place this trail takes you. This is sick. So this is, I guess, the highest point around. And so we've got a ton of massive antennas right behind us. Check it out. So I guess these are radio towers, or maybe these days like data towers or whatever. But yeah, from this point we've got a ton of trail options. So we've got this guy here, which doesn't look like it's been used in a very long time. Yeah, half of that's all grown over. We've got that one down there, and then the one that we're probably going to try to take, I would think, is down here. This looks like the most used, more or less, but it still looks like it goes kind of pretty far down. So yeah, I guess we'll see how we go. This is so sick. Oh, just immediately right back into it. Oh man, every freaking day I'm reminded as to why I live this life. It's not easy. It's bloody hard at times. You know, it's not cheap either, but god damn, it's fulfilling on another level. I don't know what it is about this, honestly, that captures my imagination and makes me feel so fulfilled. Going to these random freaking places, but I don't know, there's something special about it, like this transitory feeling like you, this is freaking weird, but you know, I'm me traveling in my little freaking home that I've built myself. I've got everything in there that I need, and I'm passing through these places. There's something so evocative about it. It almost like awakens like a primal feeling inside of me. You know, like humans, when we first evolved, we're transitory, we're migratory. We went from place to place looking for, I don't know, the best food, resources and stuff. It wasn't until the agricultural revolution when we became static, and because I'm migrating a little bit differently these days in a freaking built yellow Land Cruiser, it feels like I'm fulfilling this primal urge to wander, and that is pretty sick. All right, let's tackle this four-wheel drive tracks up. We kind of went a bit off piste here, as you can see. The green is the trail that I've actually pre-plotted for myself, and so we went on kind of a bit of an adventure here, but we're going to go down this hill, which is right there, and rejoin the green, which is my pre-planned trail. So for this one, I don't know how steep it's going to be, so we'll drop it into high 4 for now. See how we go. You know, if it gets a bit mad, we can certainly stop, and I'll drop it into low 4. And yeah, we'll rejoin our trail down there. Mate, look at this. Wow. Look at the views of the coast, man. Yeah, I am just going to drop that into low. Oh. Just in case. But yeah, I'm glad I did that, because that is pretty bloody steep, to be honest. yeah, that's 100% low fall material. Wow. Oh yeah. The trick on these ones is to just let the cruiser kind of pick its way down. Wow. Amazing views, dude. Incredible views aside, it's fast becoming clear that this descent is going to be a really steep one. Oh man, this is sick. Like, people pay good money to see views like this, you know, day to day, from the cockpit of my freaking Land Cruiser. Mate, this is actually really steep, man. Oof. The camera rarely does justice to the steepness of descents like this, but let me tell you, this one is getting scarier by the second. Holy f***, this is mega steep, dude. Fucking hey. Just let this crawl really slow. Really slow down it. Fucking hell, brother. Jesus. Perennial risk on steep off-road descents like this is raw physics. Gravity is pushing the weight at the rear of the vehicle down, and quite simply, it wants to force the vehicle sideways to get down there quicker. Oh, man. Holy shit. Whoa. God, I don't like that. Oh. Jesus. The camera really never captures how steep any hill is. That was actually quite terrifying. Goes to show you, like, look at that. Yeah, sometimes things just take you back a little bit, and this is also insane four-wheel drive, by the way. This is full-on long-range track. God, it goes to show you that you got to be in low form, man. Like, I dropped it in there. I really didn't think I was going to need it. I was like, I'll just put it in as a precaution, you know, because I've had things like that happen to me there. But like, trying to drop into low range on a track like that when you're already at that angle, it's borderline impossible. You know, you've got so much weight on the drivetrain that it's basically is impossible, you know. Why don't we stop here for a minute? All right, I'm going to drop some air out of the tyres here. Just give the car a break a second. Drop a fair bit of air out those tyres because it's just running a little bit bumpy, you know what I mean? For this sort of terrain, I'm aiming for 18 PSI at the back and 12 at the front. Alright, so that's the tyre pressure's dropped down. If it gets crazier, I can drop it down further. Equally, if I end up doing like long sandy trails, I might just put a little bit more air in there. Yeah, it's just about right for this kind of crawly terrain. That down there is the bay that we were looking at from the top of that mast hill. So sick. Man, what a freaking trip this is, dude. Man, never in my life would I have believed you if you told me that I've been driving white sandy trails on the coast, all along the coast of Spain, in my Land Cruiser like this. I had no idea this was possible. Look at this. What the hell, brother? Unbelievable, bro. Wow. Little town behind us there that we just passed. This is unfreaking believable, mate. Being able to do this kind of thing inside of a European country feels almost like a cheat code. I remember when I first announced that I was going to try to do this, a 7,000 mile off-road circumnavigation of Spain and Portugal. A couple of my reels went viral on Instagram and I had hundreds, if not thousands of comments from people saying that what I'm trying to do is impossible. It can't be done. Either that or it's illegal. I'll be arrested as soon as I put a tire off-road. I read these comments and it got me thinking, maybe they're right. Maybe what I'm trying to do is impossible. And on epic days like this, I look back on those moments and think, wow, never listen to the doubters or the haters, because here I am, almost 2,000 miles off-road into the trip of a lifetime, having experiences every day that these people can't even comprehend. Alright, so it's getting a little bit late in the day, so I've pulled over to just grab a quick bite to eat before we continue on the trail. So this is truly the dream with doing this trip, and trips like this for me, like as regards to overlanding, like this is just about as good as it gets. Tackling just long sandy trails by the coast, it's amazing. So I changed the cruiser's lights to LEDs for the first time the other day, and man, what a difference. I think they look sick, but the most important thing is that they perform way better. So now I can finally drive at night without shitting bricks, which is a massive improvement on how it's been. Alright, so I made myself a real quick lunch here of a sandwich. So this is a fresh baguette that I just went to buy from the supermarket there. I've got some local jamon, which is really nice stuff. I've got a bit of cheese on one bit, and then underneath all is the star of the show, believe it or not. It's chunks of like a real massive beef tomato that Ben and Carly gave me, that someone else had given them, that they'd grown in the garden. It is like the best tomato I've ever had. It's massive as well, so I'm like tapping off it for as long as I can. I'll eat it right here on the trail side, and then we'll continue on. After finishing my sandwich, and since the sun's shining, I decided to stay and try to get that YouTube upload actually sorted. After eating lunch, I kind of decided that I was just going to stay here for a while, because I've still got that YouTube video to upload, and the signal is actually really good here, surprisingly, considering the fact that we're in the freaking middle of nowhere on the coast. So yeah, I've just broken up, and I'm kind of sitting in my chair in the lee of the open door there, and doing a bit of work. This is like the beauty of being able to work online and anywhere. It's like in these moments that it's like, oh yeah, this is pretty freaking cool actually. So yeah, I'm just getting a bunch of stuff done. YouTube upload finally sorted, so it's time to hit the trail again. Let's continue on the trail, shall we? Wow, so all this here is mangroves. It's all like salty, brackish lagoons and stuff on the estuary of the river that discharges into the sea here. So sick. This is a really cool place to see. Apart from being a unique ecosystem with a four-wheel drive trail running right through it, this marks the beginning of my trail down the rugged coast of Galicia. honestly, it's good to see some of this stuff dried out, because I was thinking that probably Galician mud just lasted all year, but as we can see here, that has been muddy. It's just all dried up with the dry weather all summer. So yeah, there you go. This would have been a real struggle back when we were here in like winter, spring sort of time, I think. Wow. God, look at that, man. Wow. Good God, this is incredible, dude. The trail took me up a winding switchback into the mountains that tower above the coastline below. These trails are very rarely used and absolutely choked from both sides with late summer foliage. This is well overgrown, man. Jesus. God, I can't even see where the trail goes, man. Alright, this is pretty insane, dude. One of the problems I find with a trip like this are the ever-changing conditions on the ground on the trails. Sometimes you can get many kilometers deep on an off-road track, only to find that it's a dead end, made impassable for one reason or another, since the satellite mapped it out or the GPX was made. I think this is... Yeah, I don't think I can get through here, can I? Let's see. My God, this has gotten remote. Holy shit. Oh, man. Oh, it's spiky. Yeah, it's basically just a drop-off down there, I think. Fucking hell. Yeah, I can't see where... There's a definite trail on my map, but... Yeah, it's not here, that's for damn sure. Look at the car. Man, it's in like endless track networks like this that you have to be really careful in this season with forest fires. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that you get stuck in and end up immolating yourself. This is going to be one of those ones that requires a back out and turn around. As much of a pain as that is, sometimes that's just the way things go when you're trying to drive 7,000 miles off-road. After phase 1 of this expedition being such a disaster, I came back here to northern Spain with the intention to speed things up and make some tangible progress. But seeing the state of some of these trails is giving me a real reality check out here, especially given that I'm just at the very beginning of traversing Galicia's ragged coast. It's getting late in the day, and it's about time that I find a place to camp, but I have no intention of camping anywhere near this thick, flammable brush in forest fire season, so I'm gonna press on for now. Yeah, we'll drop some air out of the tyres here. These tracks have been overgrown, but generally pretty easy, but occasionally they do throw up something interesting, like this meter drop. Wow, considerable. The sun is just about to dip below the horizon, and just as it happens, the trail is taking me near to a high cliff just above the coastline, so I decided to divert down into a cove to watch the sunset over the sea. Oh my God, that's amazing, no way. So I just came to turn around because I took a wrong turn. I can't get the car into any gear. I don't know whether that's clutch or something. Yeah, that does not bode well. Shit. Oh man. Yeah, just literally won't go into any gear. Wouldn't be a day on this trail, on this expedition, would it, without something disastrous going wrong. The gearbox being stuck in neutral renders the car completely undrivable, something that has never happened to me in this vehicle before. Nothing looks out of place from the outside, and after 15 minutes of frantic Googling, I'm starting to get a bit worried. I can't get into any gear. Shit. Right, so I've just been underneath. Can't see anything wrong. Cannot for the life of me understand what might have happened here. This has never happened to me before with this vehicle. Especially not being able to go into any gear. I'm gonna turn the car on now. It drives, bro! Dude, it works again. What does this mean? You fixed it. The whole box works, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't believe you fixed it. Bro, thanks for fixing it. Now, tell me why it happened. Right, so basically that just went into gear randomly as I was sitting there twiddling with the gear stick. I didn't do anything special. Oh, I've ripped my padlock off my jerry can at some point. That's a bit of fun, isn't it? But anyway, most of the point is that now I can leave this place, which is great. However, that is really not filling me with much confidence because, you know, I don't know what caused it. I was stuck here for like an hour and a half trying to figure it out. It's just gone back into gear. Like if this happens in the Sahara Desert or something when I'm on my own and like 2,000 miles from anywhere, like that could actually be a serious problem. So I don't know, didn't like that at all, but at least it is into gear now so we can go find a campsite. Not quite the relaxing sunset that I planned, but nevertheless beautiful. Well, let's make some tracks. I need to find a campsite. I'm getting really hungry, and after that hour and a half stuck up here, I need a beer. Now it's going to be back to project try to find a campsite in the dark. Something that I don't really like doing and doesn't bode well for the rest of the expedition, given this is my first day back on the trail trying to find a wild campsite. This looks like a great camping spot to me. Yeah, this'll do. It's really nice. This is oh shit, I think I just reversed a tree. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did that. Yeah, this seems ideal. It's in a pine forest rather than the eucalyptus stuff, so it looks a bit older and not as prone to forest fires, I don't think so. Yeah, that's the situation right there. Yeah, that's the tree I just reversed into. Yeah, it's pretty ideal actually. Just want to make sure you can't really see it off the track. Yeah, no, I'm pretty well hidden in here. That's pretty ideal, that I reckon. On the piss a bit, but not much. Perfect. Alright, so I've set up camp. I'm here in the Land Cruiser. I'm about to crack myself a beer. It's 10 PM, man. That's wild. Probably just make some food, obviously, and then get an early night, you know. Alright, good morning, guys. So I've just woken up in this forest bit, so we're going to jump out and check our surroundings and see where we are. Make some breakfast and stuff, so it looks like a beautiful day, yeah? This is the spot. Wow. Yeah, this was a beautiful spot. I slept wonderfully peacefully. It's gorgeous, this pine forest. The smell is beautiful as well. Most of the forests around here are eucalyptus, which does smell really nice, but it's also extremely dry. It saps up all the water, the eucalyptus. But yeah, I don't really like being in there with forest fires and stuff around at the minute. So this was ideal. This is just full of bracken and pine. As camp spots go, that have been just about as good as it gets. Now, time to get coffee on, breakfast done with, and get ready to hit the road. We are back in business for round 2 of the Iberian Trail.